And we're back, episode 47.
I think I'm over reality TV.
Maybe just for like the government's effect, I should just go Amish.
Life is way too short to waste it on assholes.
I call bullshit.
I don't think you're ever too old to make friends.
Yes, you do put baby in the corner.
Just here's the line. She called off the wedding. He wasn't the person. Thank you and good night.
Dun, dun, dun. And we're back, episode 47.
I can't believe it.
We're on a roll, dude. Wait, we're getting close to like a full year.
Yeah. What was the date? What's our anniversary? Podiversary.
A full year.
When?
52 episodes.
52.
But we've taken weeks off.
Not really.
A few.
Really?
I think so. Here and there, nothing
no, like,
crazy.
When I was in France last year, we taped. Like, it wasn't like we took...
No, I'm saying like we were like ahead on some episodes before they started to release.
Okay.
So we were lucky. But is it July or August that we first launched? I think it was August.
Yeah, I think it was August
So
too.
we're rolling up to a year. We've been filming for a year.
Yeah. Oh, got it. Okay.
But,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
My math isn't quite there.
I'm excited.
I know. So cool. Look at us.
I know.
Yay, us. Cheers.
It's like professionals.
I know.
Before you know it, we'll be
rolling
like
on a tour.
On tour, episode 450.
Yeah. Still have 14 listeners. Kidding.
Just kidding. No. Well, our TikTok is growing. I didn't really think that was going to happen.
Oh, that's crazy.
The TikTok.
The TikTok. I never go on the TikTok. You know why I don't go on TikTok? If anybody cares.
I do.
Is because it sucks you in so quickly, and you're just like engulfed in just like you feel brain dead at the end.
So I usually get sucked into TikTok when Kylie will send me something in a text message.
Okay.
So I'll open it up. But then you start flipping. Do you know that sometimes there's TikToks of people playing video games? So it's a split screen. And there's a camera on the person playing the game. Mm-hmm. And then the other screen is what their view is of them playing the game.
Oh, yeah.
And people just
watch that. Yeah, I think Evie's watched that to play, like certain things.
But I mean, the person's like, not that this girl wasn't even talking.
Yeah. And they probably make money.
I know.
That's so crazy.
Wild.
Speaking of TikTok, I started watching the second season of Mom Talk.
I stopped.
It's annoying. It's boring. I had it on as background because I was doing something else. And I was like, I can't even have it on as background. It's so annoying. I think I'm over reality TV.
I am.
I think I'm over watching other people live their lives and not really living their life, but just like making up shit to make it look like they're living a life. And really, they're just regular people like us.
Yes. No, I think that is going to be the turn of reality.
Yeah.
If it's not authentic and it's not really happening, I don't
like
want
the stupid
to see
petty arguments they're all getting into about who had a threesome and really was it a threesome and it wasn't. It was like kissing and it was spin the bottle. I was like, who fucking cares?
I know, it's clickbait.
Yes,
It's complete clickbait.
Shut up, bitches. You're all like 23 and you have 8 kids. Let's start there. How about that?
Right?
My girls were watching it. They're like, oh, what are you watching? And then they go, how old is she? And I go, she's 25. She's got like 4 kids. They're like,
already divorced, husband
what's
number
wrong
2.
with her? Yeah, and all of them are divorced. Aren't they?
Yeah.
Most of
them.
them.
A lot of them are.
Most of them are divorced.
So,
which is so funny because
giving them
it's
Mormons a bad name.
Yes. If I were Mormon, I'd be pissed.
Right?
But get off there.
Maybe they need to be part of the FLDS.
That'll whip them into shape. Can you imagine if they're in that Eat, Pray, Love? What was that show called? Not Eat, Pray, Love. You know what I'm talking about.
Pray and Stay Sweet or something.
Yeah. Yes. Stay in, something like that.
Stay Sweet and Pray.
Yeah. With that creepy guy.
God, it was
who
terrifying.
Was the patriarch of the church and the community and abusing and having sex with girls that were like 12 and then being forced to marry them? Or they were being forced to marry him.
Yes, but like at what point do you go, I'm 11, he's 88.
Sounds reasonable.
So legit.
But the parents were forcing that to happen.
I know.
Those parents should be locked up.
Because they were mind fucked to be able
Yes.
to think that that was going to get them into a better place in heaven.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So-
It's just crazy ass. Anyway, so I'm over it. That's the bottom line of that whole
I'm into it.
diatribe I went on.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. You had Evie's grad party this past weekend.
Yes.
It was great.
It was great.
Turned out to be a beautiful
day. It was perfect. We weren't sure, but yeah, it turned out great. And it was the weather was awesome. The people that came, we had a house full, just like you did, for a couple days. We had my in-laws, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, who were so helpful. They did both grad parties, actually. They did Alex's and Evie's, and I feel like when their kids get married, we're going to have to camp out at their house for a week to help, whatever, because they saved the day on so many levels. And then Evie's friend Julia was in town for a week, so she was super helpful. And then Alex and Zach flew in on Friday night. So our house turned into like a sweatshop on Friday night and Saturday, because we were putting together those charcuterie cups.
Well, yeah, because Evie wanted those, and then she made like her own cupcakes. Yeah.
Which I was like, that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Unnecessary stress. But she that's where she kind of zones out when she feels stressed, is by baking.
Yeah.
Which is not optimal when you're trying to do shit around. And she was making the backdrop.
Yeah, which was beautiful too. Like those individual flowers.
Yes.
Insane.
Yes.
Yeah, it turned out lovely. But Evie's like, if I could have catered my own grad party, I would have done that instead of the waffle truck.
I know. She wanted to. I'm like, no, you're not.
Oh my God, she's going to go away to school and like the stress of studying, she's going to end up opening a bakery on the side.
I know. She's funny. Yeah, it's funny that way. But it was good. It was great. Saw lots of people, got to catch up.
No, it was, and it was the perfect day. I was worried when we were driving back from Ohio on Friday because it was pouring down rain when we got to Michigan. And I'm like, oh no. But you were like, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
And I liked the tents set up for Evie's location better than Alex's.
Oh, it's
yeah. I think it just kind of had like a better flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And we did that kind of by default because we thought it was going to rain. So we were like, let's keep everything covered.
Well, and you got to utilize your garage, and you didn't do that last time. So that was, I think it just kept it like spacious.
Which added extra,
stress.
Just not, our garage isn't super messy. It's just like dust, and you got to hose it down. And
it's a garage. I mean, my garage is so freaking old. It belongs in like a haunted house. Yours looked like someone could do surgery in it during the grad party.
It helped because the party people, thank you Paper Moon, put up that huge, big curtain, the white curtain in my garage. Did you see that?
Was it behind the flowers?
Yeah.
Okay.
So huge white curtain, so it hid like a lot of our stuff, which was key.
Like your shelving and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking to myself, where did it all go? Okay,
It was
that
like
makes
magic.
sense. Yeah.
It was behind there.
It was party magic.
Yeah. Yeah. So then they all left on Saturday. Well, it went till, I don't know, maybe I think I was in bed by 11 on Saturday night. And then none of us got up until 9, maybe on Sunday. We were just like dead. Actually, we stayed up later than that because my cousins came over, stayed longer, and we all just hung out.
Yeah. Did you watch the hockey game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because the Canadians were in town.
Yes. Well, I mean, Florida could win it tonight.
Oh, it's tonight?
We'll see. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So the big joke, it started when Boston and the Blackhawks, this must have been in 2016, were in the Stanley Cup together. The boys were in New Zealand. So Lisa and I would get together to watch the Stanley Cup. And she's a huge Boston fan, and I'm from Chicago. So, and when I would fall asleep, Chicago would win. So then she would like wake me up, and I'd be like, are we winning? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm going back to bed. So we talked yesterday because it was Gunner's birthday, and she's like, I expect you to be in bed by 6:30 tonight. She's like, do not stay awake and watch the game. I need Florida to win.
Oh.
So, yeah.
So what time's the game? 6:30?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh. Is this it?
Well, if Florida wins, it's done.
Okay.
And they're in Florida, so it could be perfect.
I know. She goes, hey, is Alex going to the hockey game? And I go, what hockey game? She's like, the Stanley Cup Finals. They're playing in Florida. And I was like,
yeah, but that's not where Alex is at.
Well, it's just a little bit. It's only an hour away.
Oh, okay.
And I go, 100% she is not at the hockey game. Even if it were next door, she would not be at that hockey game. I can guarantee it.
Oh, goodness.
I don't even think she knew it was going on.
No.
No. But anyway, so it was awesome to have her home and see Zach too.
Yes.
And yeah. So it was quick, but we had a great time. And then did brunch on Sunday and everybody left. But like all at once.
Did you do brunch at home?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we cooked.
Okay.
Because it's a cluster trying to get like 14 people into a restaurant.
It is.
Plus, we never planned ahead and made reservations anywhere. So
Yeah,
that
'cause
was,
it was Father's
the only
Day.
choice.
Yeah.
So anyway, Randy took all the kids to the airport and
Okay.
he flew out on Sunday.
Oh.
My in-laws all left at the same time, and Evie and I were the only two left at home. So we went from like a house full of people and
Yeah.
tons of action and conversation to just her and I. And we were like, I should have had more kids.
Right? Do
Yeah.
you think so?
Yeah. I think I didn't think that 10 years ago
Right.
or 15 years ago or even 20 years ago. But now I think it would be awesome to have. I love having like a house full
People
of
around.
people.
I do too, but I also get really excited when they leave. I do. But I mean, I do kind of thrive in the chaos. I like making food for people.
Yeah.
But then I also love when they leave and I can put my house back together
Yeah,
in
that
perfect
is
order
true.
and just sit in it. Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I get that too. But anyway, how
Well-
was your Saturday night and Sunday?
Well, before we came back for Evie's party, Kylie and I finally went down to Ohio with Chris.
Oh, yeah. How was
Okay.
it? Yeah, you sent me that video. It looked really pretty.
It is a part of Ohio I have never seen before in my life. It looked like Tennessee. It was like rolling hills
Yeah.
and the greenery was amazing. Like he took us out on his farm and I'm like, it's really pretty.
So did we determine what part of Ohio you were in?
Like northeastern Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So like Toledo over?
yeah.
Okay.
But you don't even, I don't even know how to explain it. Like when you get through Dundee, you like don't go into Toledo. Like you cut through Maumee a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're going to like you're heading to Pittsburgh. And then all of a sudden you get off and it's just these windy,
Oh, wow.
twisty roads. And for like an hour, you have no cell service until you get to the farm. And if
Cool.
you're not looking out the window and you're sitting in the back seat, you might get car sick. It's like a roller coaster.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really twisty. It's very pretty. It's actually in this town called Stillwell, but I
Okay.
don't even think you can find it on a map. Like when you see the sign that says Stillwell, you know how people will be like, oh, if you blink, you miss
Yeah.
it. Well, you don't even have to blink. Your eyes are halfway closed to blink and boom, like you're done. You're
Oh,
through
wow.
it. Yeah.
It's tiny.
So Chris pulled into this one house originally, told us on the way down there was no air conditioning. And I'm thinking, oh my God, like you sold this great thing and now we're going,
Yeah.
to
Camping.
sit in, a shed. So he pulls into this first house and I was like, what the fuck? There wasn't even stairs. There was a slide that was like tied to the porch. And then he just saw my face. He's like, oh my God, I'm just kidding. Like this is the caretaker's house. He's like, I was just tricking you.
A slide.
There's no stairs on the front
So
porch.
what do you
It's a
climb
slide.
up the slide if you want to get into the door?
Well, I think you go through the back door, but the front door, like the stairs are gone and the guy tied like one of those yellow plastic slides that would go
At least
on a
it's
fun
plastic and not one of those, metal
slides.
slides that rust and get metal up your butt.
So there's Amish everywhere, but yet they have electric scooters.
Oh.
I saw
and cell
Amish-
phones.
Amish ladies using electric weed whippers.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, maybe just for like the government's effect, I should just go Amish.
And maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because apparently there's all these loopholes. So because they can't charge the scooters at home, I guess they all get together at night. And Chris says it's like Hell's Angels of Amish people on scooters because they all have to go to, I don't know, the gas station or the Walmart or whatever to charge
it?
their scooters.
So they own their own scooter.
They own the scooters.
Okay.
They just can't charge them at home.
Okay. Well,
Right?
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but should you technically be able to own the
I
scooter?
don't know what the rules are there.
I don't know. So, but I mean, there are some colorful things out there. There is this house that we drove past to, like we helped Chris fill like his deer feeders and change the batteries in his trail cameras. We drove past this house. This man has 2 trucks parked in his yard. There are full size big trees growing out of the center and like the hood of these pickup trucks.
So are they like a decoration?
Nope, I'm pretty sure.
He just never moved his
in
truck.
like 85, he parked him there.
And they were just like,
nope, never moved. So, but like cuts the grass around it.
that's amazing.
So for one night, like the house that we stay in was fine. It was great.
Okay.
I do have a little list of things.
Are you going to go back?
I will go back with Chris like in the fall. Kylie's not home.
Yeah.
Now, am I going to go for 2 weeks during like the peak of whitetail season? No.
No, because he takes people there, right?
He takes people there. It's full. It's crazy. It will be like late gun muzzleloader season. Like, I don't know.
I don't even want to know what happens when a bunch of dudes just hang out at a hunting place.
They drink so much beer.
Yeah. And then
So much beer.
there's probably a lot of like shits in the toilet, farts,
Yeah.
steaks, and bags of chips. That's all I can picture. Just like no one showers.
Yeah, no,
Well,
I've got no desire. And
Yeah.
then Chris did say, because the setup in the living room, there's just so many chairs, right? And they're all some form of like a comfortable chair.
Oh, like lots
Right?
of lazy boys.
Yeah, but like even these rocking chairs, like I've never even seen a rocking chair like this before. Like a 400-pound man can sit in it.
Oh.
And it has like this padded insert,
Okay.
and it just looks like a really comfortable rocking chair.
Did you sit in it?
No, I sat on the leather couch. I didn't really sit in anything that had like cloth fabric.
It's probably wise.
So,
I'm not saying they're dirty. I'm just saying when you get a bunch of dudes in one place
in hunting season,
it ends up being like
yeah.
probably not that
And there's
clean.
always that guy that like doesn't think he has to shower.
Right, 'cause his
Trying
wife's
to
not
stay-
there.
He's like trying to stay scent free.
Yeah,
But it's
because
like,
his
dude,
wife's like
your BO
not
stinks.
there.
Yeah.
Bugging him.
So, but no, I will go back down with him again. Probably like October.
Yeah.
Maybe once again, like in August, but then October. So we are 21 year anniversary is on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he's like, hey, do you want to like go away somewhere real quick and blah, blah, blah. And I go, instead of trying to plan something for like this weekend or next,
Yeah.
how about we go somewhere in October? You'll be back from your big trip.
Mm-hmm.
Kylie will be settled in at school. And I think that'll be the perfect time for the two of us just to go do something.
Yeah.
You want to go to Florida?
Fun.
I've always wanted to go to Charleston.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
something like that.
Right.
Quaint, fun, nothing crazy, but just a getaway. And then just like the intro to like real empty nest life.
Yeah.
Because that's when it's going to set in.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
Yes. It'll be fun. We are going, I am just starting to plan. In fact, I have a call tonight to talk about our Grand Canyon hike.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
My dad was asking about that.
Yeah.
Because he's like, is Meko still doing that? And I'm
am.
like, I think so.
I am. We're not doing the rim to rim. We're doing down and up. And don't ask me what side.
Okay.
I don't know north from south anyway, so it wouldn't even matter. So we're going down and back up.
Okay. And you can do it in a day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
17 miles.
Okay.
Yeah. You can do rim to rim in a day. You just have to leave extra early. I think we have to leave. So I was just talking to Stephanie. We have to, I'll fly into Phoenix. We'll stay at Addie's house one night, and then we'll drive to the Grand Canyon, which is like 3 hours from her house.
Okay.
And then wake up, hike, come back to the hotel, stay that night. Because no one wants to drive 3 hours after a 17-mile hike. And then go back to her house probably Sunday or whatever.
Okay.
So thankfully, we are going with some pretty experienced hikers.
Okay.
Her one friend has done this like 3 times.
Okay.
So that's good. Debbie, our friend Debbie hikes all the time. So
Okay. I think you're fine to just
I
wake
think we're
up and
fine
go 17
just-
miles and incline, decline. It's making sure your shoes are ready
Exactly. Yeah. I just have to make sure that we have the right equipment, like shoes. And I don't know any of that stuff.
and that
so
you can
I'm
handle your
relying on
pack
them.
and you have enough water and
Right.
electrolytes and
I
snacks.
think they do have water on the trail, but you have to take your own.
Yeah.
For sure, just in case. But yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be an adventure. For
It
sure.
will be an adventure. Oh, I'm so excited for you.
Yeah. So I'm doing that in October. Speaking of October. And
Yeah.
then this weekend is so crazy. So tomorrow, My very best friend from growing up, Stephanie, is going to be in town. They're coming in tomorrow, staying the night. And then they leave. The guys are golfing Thursday. They leave. And then Liana and Jill are coming in on Thursday, spending the night. And then, or spending 2 nights, leaving Saturday. And then I have a wedding on Saturday. So
Wow,
full.
you are a busy lady.
I know. So full this weekend.
Yeah. No, the biggest highlight of our weekend, I think Chris is putting a road in our backyard on Saturday.
Why?
I just found that out. To go to his barn.
Oh.
It gets torn up like in muddy season,
Yeah.
you know, with his big truck going back there. And I think he's just tired of the chunks of mud and all that kind of stuff. And we've lived in our house 10 years, so we've been talking about it for 10 years.
Okay.
I think finally just biting the bullet and
Yeah.
putting the road in. So, but I mean, between us and our friend Jason, we have all the equipment to get it ready. So all he has to do is have, it's like crushed limestone or crushed asphalt that's coming, and they just like pack it down. So, I mean, I'm not going to be a part of it.
I'm like, wow, what does one do to get a road ready or a driveway
Well, you
ready?
have to, my dad's bringing the tractor out from the farm to our house. So he's got to do something with the tractor. And then I think someone's bringing like a bobcat, not a bulldozer. I don't know, something to like pack it down so that it's like perfect. I don't know.
Yeah, I would think at one point you have to get it like level.
Yes. Yes.
However that happens.
Yeah. And then probably has like something that rolls over it that like packs it down.
Yeah, sure.
I would think.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Sounds
TBD.
legit.
TBD.
Yeah. Glow Medical Spa is Mid-Michigan's premier med spa for skin rejuvenation and anti-aging. The trained nurses and estheticians at Glow specialize in non-invasive facial aesthetics such as toxins, fillers, and lasers. Glow is ranked in the top 1% of all providers in the U.S. for Botox and filler, as well as Black Diamond Icon status for Hydrofacial.
Glow Body specializes in body contouring with Ensculpt Neo, Emcella, weight loss clinic, and therapeutic massage. Book an appointment today at glow-skinspa.com. All right, so picking up where we left off last week with all of the hot topics from our friends, the evolution of friendships post 40.
Yes.
And this could be like a whole dedication episode because it brings in all of the factors that we basically talked about last week. But what keeps you going? Yes, it's your family, it's your husband, your kids, you know, having like your mom, dad, sisters, whatever. But your friendships are such a grounded part of your life. And the people that you bring with you from childhood, which is amazing that you're like, perfect example. You have Stephanie coming.
We were baptized together.
Right?
I mean, we've known each other since we were 6 months old.
And I think this day and age, unless you don't leave your hometown, super rare.
It is super rare.
Yeah.
I mean, we lived with each other as roommates after college. So she went to Central, I went to Ferris. They're only 45 minutes apart. So we used to visit each other in college. But I graduated and then she graduated and we moved into an apartment in Westland, Michigan for a year. She met her husband. They went off and got married. I had to get a whole new roommate. She got married the night that Princess Diana was killed. I will never forget her wedding night. Like reception, we were at the reception. And then someone's like, did you guys hear Princess Diana got in a car accident and died? We're like, that's a joke. No way. And that was so, I remember being so devastated, like when that happened. But anyway, so she's kind of like my sister. We grew up as only kids, pretty much, and just had each other.
Yeah.
And little old Hope.
Right? And then another great point, then right after that, you have friends coming in from when you first moved to Orange County.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And, you know, you didn't have kids yet, but you guys were pregnant at the same time?
We were pregnant at the same time.
Yeah.
So we were pregnant with Sydney, her oldest, and my oldest.
Yeah. So, and then it kept that friendship going, right? So when you have like the right people in your life, I mean, they can stay with you.
Oh, yeah. And you don't have to talk every day. We rarely talk. I mean, I rarely talk to these people.
Yeah.
Like live.
Yeah.
I mean, well, Liana and I talk a little bit more just because it depends on the friendship, right?
Yep.
Like I have a lot of texting friends.
Yes.
That we still stay really close with and I know exactly what they're doing, but it's through text, which is fine too. But there are friends that are call friends, you know? You have those?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Texting friends or call friends?
Both.
Both. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And sometimes one, you can tell by the friend, not by the friendship at all. It doesn't define it. It just that person's personality or the time that they have available is how often they can talk. I always talk to Liana on her way to the office because it's like, 8 or 9 o'clock for her and noon for me.
Yep. So, but a good judgment of the fact that like you're good, solid, good friends, and I would say the same for mine, that when I've met and hung out with yours or vice versa, you just fit right in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then that's how you know that they're true. There's been a couple times I've gone on a girls trip and this not with you.
With me?
No.
I'm like,
not with you.
Who?
Not with you. Not with you. And there's like this random person that you meet and you're like, how is she a part of the group? Because I'm not really understanding this vibe. And then you find out it's like, oh, she's so-and-so's sister. She kind of like invited herself. Got it. Okay, because this did not make sense.
She's a hanger-oner.
Yes, yes. Because everybody else vibes so well.
Yes.
And this person's just kind of like, meh.
Yeah.
Over
just
in the corner.
Plunked in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, okay, let's talk about the evolution of friendship once you get into your 40s. So, the shift post kids. So when I was the one that had the kid first. So
how is that? So when you had your kid first, everybody else was just graduating from college and they were like finding their way, however that was, right? They were probably either going to graduate school or finding a job, finding a boyfriend, whatever.
Moving to a new city. So they're going out and like spreading their wings. And, now I'm playing house, with my husband and my kid. Now, Chris and I were young to the point that, we were laughing at Kylie's graduation party that 2 of the wives that were there, when Kylie, her first Christmas, so she'd say she's like 7, 8 weeks old, a bunch of the guys had a Christmas party that lived together. And I mean, this is back when they would just be like ragers, right? Kegs and all that kind of stuff. But Chris and I wanted to go, but I was not going to leave Kylie back at home with Chris's parents. So we told them, like, you can watch Kylie, but you have to come to Detroit. You need to stay in the hotel with us. Not in the same room, but, I need Kylie there. I can't leave her 3 hours away. So they totally were good with that. So we came down. There was like a little meet and greet with Kylie, like at the house first, and everybody came by so they could like hold her and see her. And then she went back to the hotel.
Don't drop her because I know none of you have held a baby before.
So we took her back to the hotel with Chuck and Roxanne. And then we went back to the party and it was like this wild Christmas party. Now, it was all keg beer. So I brought my own Miller Lite bottles so that I could count how many beers I had.
Right.
Right.
You probably had to pump and dump. Yeah.
Well, I totally pumped and dumped, but I didn't want to be drinking keg beer. I wanted to say, okay, I had 6 beers, that kind of thing. So, but Mike's now wife, Kristen, and this was her first time around the group, and she kept going into the fridge and drinking my Miller Lite. And I was like, who the fuck is this girl? She's not going to last. She's drinking my beer, blah, 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 because I've already had watched Mike go through. Yeah, girl. I'm like, okay, this one's going to stick around. And she did, and I love her to pieces. Yeah. I'm so excited about it. She's amazing. But yeah, so... And that's the other thing, right? So these guys are like our tight core group from college, but you watch them go through all these different girls, and it would be hard if I became friends with one of them.
Yeah.
And then they break up, and you try, but they just can't get past, like they would ask questions and they'd want to know about the new girl. And then finally I'm like, are you friends with me? Because you want to get back with him? Yeah. Or do you really just want to be friends with me? Right. So all of those friendships eventually fizzled out. Yeah. But
your true friends stay true no matter what you're doing in whatever stage you are in life.
Yes. In a perfect example, like my 2 besties from college, Tessa and Aurelia. First one to have a baby, they were both swinging single, doing their thing, and then one was in Boston, one was in New York, so they would see each other all the time. Yeah. And then I would just be sprinkled in wherever. Right. Whenever I could. So, fast forward... And it was really Aurelia finally getting engaged that kind of brought the 3 of us back to like, okay, now Tessa's out of the baby phase. Yeah. Aurelia's settling down. So now we have like a standing weekend in November. Oh, good. And I've actually seen probably both of them on their own more than I have in the past 2 years than I probably have in 15.
Oh, wow. Well, and that's when you know a friendship is strong. Because when you're going through those stages in life, if you're not going through it with somebody else in the same thing, it's hard. It's really hard to bridge that gap because you're both like, well, I have, soccer practice, and this person's like, I have 8 parties next weekend. So that sucks to be you.
Right. Yeah. No, totally. But at the same time, if your friendship can just last through all of that, you're not offended. Like, I'm never offended that it's standard. It takes Tessa 2 to 3 business days sometimes to get back to you, But there's no offense there.
No.
But if I needed her, if there was an SOS,
yeah,
she would be there in a second. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and that is even true with, like, we have good friends in Philadelphia where we used to live, and they did not have kids. And so they obviously were going through something different always. And so, but they were always just there. Like, okay, cool. Whenever you guys can come, let's do this. Like, they have a place in Bermuda, the Skellies.
Yeah.
We love them. But we can never go because we've got stuff to do. And now we're a little bit more free, but we've been once. Yeah. Which is a crime because I feel like we should be there.
I know,
a lot.
but unfortunately, when you went, it was like weird COVID times.
It was
like
weird.
Got completely
Skelly
messed
had
up.
COVID. He waved from us with his mask. It was weird.
Oh my gosh! Yes. No, but that's when you can go like weeks, months, years, right? But then you come together and it's like no time passed at all. Those are your people. 100%.
Well, like, you met Jean a couple times, my friend Jean, who I love. She's one of my very dearest people in my life. Yeah, same thing. We go months. She and I met, and this is like post-college even. So you find your people in college. I feel like there's seasons, right? There's your high school, you have those people, then your college, you have those people, and then post-college is a little different because you could have a best friend who's like 40.
Yeah, no, totally.
I mean? And you're like, hi, we'll go. Yeah. I'll be on your bowling league.
Yeah.
But
who you probably met at work.
Totally met at work. Yeah. So Jean and I met at work, and we happen to be the same age, and we happen to like each other a lot and hang out outside of work. And we've just stayed friends through that too, which is hard too because I've had a lot of work friends over the years, and there aren't a ton that I stay in touch with like I do with her.
Right.
Like, you stay in touch with them loosely, or you see them on LinkedIn, or you see them on social media, but it's not like I'm going to dinner with them or they invite me to a girls' weekend or anything.
Yeah. No, I've only been around Jean a couple of times, and every time I'm with her, it's like we've been friends for time.
She's
like,
awesome.
So easy to hang out with, so easy to talk to. And apparently she's having a girls' weekend pool party at her house, and she invited me. I'm like, oh my God, I love that.
She's awesome.
So, but it got postponed. So Miko's like, oh, now you have time to get your Nexus pass.
That is kind of our rule in our car. Just FYI.
So when you first told me about it, I'm like, oh God, Miko's going to make me drive separate because she's going to
I almost did. I almost did. I was like, I'll just meet you in Windsor. How about that? My sister-in-law had to drive my mother-in-law home to here. Yeah. And she doesn't have Nexus. Oof, that was a tough pull.
Did they get hung up? Was it like a long line?
Sometimes
you luck out.
But the bridge, that Blue Water Bridge, is always a cluster because all the semis go back and forth. And there's one lane. If you're not in the Nexus lane, you're in the truck lane.
Okay.
And it sucks. Tough. And you're like stuck. So I was afraid to ask. Yeah. Because she was doing us a solid for driving.
Yeah.
So I didn't ask.
A good daughter. A good daughter there. Yeah. And sister-in-law. No, but then like work friends, like, that you've had that job where you're like, okay, you quit or they quit. Yeah. They're your person. But then you realize a lot of the stuff that you bonded about was just about work.
Yeah. It's like shared suffering. Because you're both in it at the same time. And I remember when I was a sales rep, like working at any of the companies that I worked at, and I was on the phone all the time with other girls that I worked with. And we were such good friends, like, in that time period, just bitching about work or like our bonuses or something that happened, or a shitty company car, or who got promoted and we didn't, and then they quit and go to another company, and you're like, well, that was weird. I wonder what happened to that person. And then you were like, that's so weird because we were so close when we were together. Yeah.
I mean, you try. You try.
Yeah.
But then the other thing is, and I'm usually the one that has either moved or like moved on to another job. So that when you stay in contact with that person, you're still just talking about work. And you're like, okay, so this is really what our friendship was about.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that they're not like a good person or a great person, but you're just kind of like, okay, well, yeah. This wasn't really about us bonding.
But you need those friendships
you
too.
do.
Because can you imagine being in a situation, you should like your job. Yes. You should like what you do. But sometimes you don't. And you need another person to bitch with.
Yeah. Well, especially when it's that job that I need a job. So that's why I'm doing this job.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when I worked at like Applebee's in high school.
Oh, well, right.
You know?
Yes.
But I mean, I remember like bitching about the manager with my 45-year-old coworkers.
Yeah.
Oh, and working in the kitchen was my favorite. They were always having a party back there.
Oh, yeah. Because they didn't have to see customers.
Was in awe of like the dishwasher. Because you just load up this rack, you'd pull the hood down, and then within a minute, boom, all the dishes were clean and like dry. I
need
thought
that
it was
at my
the
house.
most amazing thing ever. Right?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
It takes my nose is so itchy. I have like a hair in my face.
Ooh.
Okay. Better now. Anywho.
Yeah. But yes, need them for life. That is actually one of the major things that you need in your life to stay young and not get demented. For real.
Yes.
It's like
No, you
exercise,
do.
sleep, and friendships.
Yes.
Relationships. So whether it's with your family members, your spouse, but relationships in general, you have to have that.
Oh, for sure.
Because if you don't, then you're going to wither away and die alone. Put that thought in your mind.
I know, but
and prevent dementia all at the same time.
Right? Now, do you feel as you've gotten older, I don't think this is true for you, but I do feel like this is true for me. Less friends, but deeper bonds.
No. I mean, depends on the person.
Yeah.
I don't limit my friendships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like, hey, it's full. The bus is full. Because I think people are interesting. And I would, sort of put myself in a category of lifelong learner. So I think people are super interesting. Whether I get a friendship out of it, I just think getting a friendship out of something when you talk to people is like a bonus.
Okay.
But like people are interesting.
Yeah.
Whether they're interesting weird or interesting like really interesting.
So, but you also charge your personal battery in social situations.
Yes, I do.
It's very rare where you're like, I need a timeout and need to sit at home.
Yeah. Which bugs Randy sometimes, but yes.
Right?
Yeah, I'm an extrovert to the definition of an extrovert.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would say I was like that, not in the mentality of like, I'm going to learn something from this person. When COVID hit and you just kind of like, you secluded yourself and then you only let yourself hang out with certain people like in the beginning. I was like, this is kind of nice because these are just like my people.
Yeah. Yep.
And I kind of held on to that and was completely content with it and fulfilled. But then now I'm at this stage where, okay, well, I don't have to rush home. Okay, like last night, nobody was home at my house when I got done teaching bar. I went to my mom and dad's, which, was great, except for the fact that they kept their house at 77 degrees. I walked in and I was like
a nursing home.
All right, old timers.
Yeah.
Were they closing the windows? My dad's like, well, if it gets below 75, I have to put on a sweatshirt. I'm like, swell. I go, so now the code is, what's the temperature of your house? You know that I'm coming over. Because last night was the perfect example where I'm like, you know what? I go, if I don't have anybody at home and I'm out and about, I know you guys are home.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just going to come over. So the code is going to be, what's your thermostat at?
Yeah.
And you're going to know that you need to drop it down to 70.
Drop it down. At least 72.
Well, when they finally closed the
77.
windows to
Damn.
turn the air on, it immediately went up to 79 because I was looking right at the thermostat and I was like, oh my God, like I'm Smitsving right now.
So they don't like to turn their air on.
No, they're just, now when I was a kid, I feel like there was a money crunch and my mom would be like, there's a nice breeze.
Yeah.
That's not an issue these days.
And I don't love central air all the time either because I do like I feel like it's stifling at times.
No, fresh air is great when it's not 89 degrees outside with 100% humidity.
Right, which it is.
And we've had cool mornings and very hot afternoons. And it is a very sushi thing to do. Open the windows in the morning and get that cool morning breeze in. Fine. But I'm also the kind of person that once my air goes on, my air kind of stays on. Yeah. I mean, it has to be like cool outside for a couple of days.
Don't they have it on like that temperature? We have ours just on like a steady, where it goes up and down, depending.
Yeah, I don't know if their thermostat's that smart, but my dad can do everything from his phone.
Yeah.
So, and I think he likes to be like in control of that.
The king of the thermostat. That's what we call Randy.
But he said I couldn't handle it when I would go to my mom and dad's house or, your mom's parents' house, and it was hot. He goes, the first thing I would do when I would walk in was turn the air on. He's like, so I will do that for you.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
That was great. But back to my friendship thing. So, I'm like, okay, I need to kind of like put myself out there again. Because I haven't. Like I'm totally content just hanging out with my husband, hanging out with you, my kid. Then I'm like, you know what? But I am a social person.
You are.
Right? And I do like doing different things with different people. I think I just let myself just be in a very, very small circle.
Yeah.
So I think it's time to kind of,
And you can do that. Like I went with our friend Erin last night to this women's event, and I wasn't going to. And then I was like, what else do I have to do? She asked me to go. I'm like,
did you go to the menopause thing?
Yeah.
Oh, how was it?
It was good.
Yeah?
It was good. Jess spoke.
Yeah.
And then this fascinating gynecologist talked about menopause. She's an expert. Her name's Dr. Bettner, and she's in Grand Rapids. Okay. And I am going to call ASAP for an appointment with her because she was amazing. Like, amazing advocate for menopause. She's written papers on how every clinic needs to be educated, every doctor needs to be educated, how you need to have like a menopause checkup. Like, she was great. So I feel like I want to get an appointment with her, and I will drive to Grand Rapids once a year to see her. That's how awesome
I think that's
she was.
Totally worth it.
So anyway, so there was a panel discussion, and so these questions were thrown out, like what is your pie in the sky magic wand that you could change about the healthcare right now for menopause, or there was a congresswoman or whatever that was kind of the MC to do this, and so a lot of it was based on what can we do to help pass laws and bills and stuff about menopause. So I love the movement that people are actually talking about it, and that was kind of what this whole thing was about.
Okay, so did something come up that was political about menopause?
No, just passing like for insurance companies to cover situations, or like medical schools to have curriculum about menopause, because they don't. Just making everyone more aware and having that conversation and not just shutting it down, like just let it pass.
Yeah, I have no patience for that.
Right.
Like, there's solutions.
Right. In underserved communities. So here's where I guess the government comes in. Like, underserved communities that are assisted by the government, and how are we going to get stuff covered for them?
Sure.
And because they shouldn't suffer either.
No.
So I get that. Like, yes to all of that. So that was where it kind of went into, like, how are we going to
I saw that on social media. I taught bar last night, and I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to go to it. But that's so interesting.
Yeah. So it was good.
Okay.
It was really good. It was informative. It was something I wouldn't have done probably on my own, or just, I don't know. Maybe I would have. I just didn't think about it.
Yeah.
But it's similar to you. Like, I was going to sauna. I was going to watch my Netflix something, and then I just was like, I'll go.
Well, and sometimes you just have to say yes.
Yeah.
Right? And then I think, I don't feel this way typically for myself, but I know people like this, where they just sit around and wait for invitations, but never hand out any invitations. Yeah. And that's not fair.
It's not fair, and it's not fun, because you and I are hander-outers.
Yes. Yeah.
And I feel like I hand out invitations a lot.
Right.
And if it's like third time and you're no still.
Yeah.
great. I'm not gonna like diss you.
Yeah.
But I'm probably not gonna. You're not on my top list.
You're not on my top list anymore. And I mean, obviously people have
stuff to
jobs
do.
and families and, you know, obligations. So yeah, there's stuff that comes up and they're going to say no. But when the person's just kind of always like a no, yeah, okay, you squash them to the bottom.
All right, I get it. Yeah, you're busy.
Yeah.
So am I.
So, but yeah, sometimes just don't sit around and wait for the invitation. Yeah. And I'm at this point in my life where I'm going to be alone a lot, right? So it's kind of like, okay, Katie.
Like, what's the alternative, right? Like to be alone, if you've got to love to be alone, which I do sometimes. I do. I like to get things done. Yeah. I like to read. I like to do whatever. And that's cool. But I'm pretty social. Yeah. So I would rather be doing stuff. Yes. Like this week, I'm excited. I have tons of people coming to my house. I feel like I'm going to be an Airbnb. Yeah. We have to change the sheets, quick turnaround, clean up the bathroom, you know, and then go to a wedding. And then Sunday, I can relax. And Randy probably leaves Monday. You know what I mean? Like, but I feel like I thrive in situations like that.
All right. So in a girl's night, would you rather have a wild night or a wine night?
Wine night.
Yeah.
For sure.
Every once in a while, though.
What's a wild night? I don't even know what a wild night definition would be. What's your definition of a wild night?
My wild night would probably be you're in a city of some sort. Or even if we had a bunch of people out at the farm, right? You do a couple of shots, the music's playing, and you kind of feel like you're 20 again. Yeah. Right? You're not putting the limitations of what that hangover is going to feel like the next day on you, right? And not just the alcohol, the fact that you stayed up until 2 a.m. That's kills me more than the alcohol does. Because normally I have an off switch. So I'll stop drinking, right? And I'm like, okay, I can ride this buzz out. And then, you know, depending on like where we're at, do I feel the need to kind of clean up? Because sometimes that happens too. Yeah. But it's the late night, right? But when you don't care because you're having such a good time.
Yeah.
You know?
Like vacation.
Yeah, typically, vacation. But every once in a while, you can get together with a good group of friends and it just surprises you. I mean, there's times where all of a sudden I've been at your house and I'm like, holy fuck, it's 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, we got to go home.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, those are good times. Yeah, my wild night would be like a really cool restaurant, not here, you know, like on vacation or something. And a good vibe and a good music and great wine, great drinks, great conversation, and go until everybody's like.
But that sometimes can lead into, I mean, I'm going to say club, you know. I mean, it's been a hot minute, but you know what I mean?
Or we're all staying at the same hotel and we end up back at the hotel bar to have a nightcap, and then everybody like hangs out there for a while. Super fun and laughing, and then you go to bed.
Yes.
That would be a wild night to me.
And then you're able to like snack on some great.
Oh yeah, then somebody like gets French fries at the end of the night.
Yeah,
perfect.
All right, so with your long distance friends, which you have amazing long distance friends.
I
do. And some of them have become my friends too.
Yeah.
So, but like, you know, how you have been so good about staying in contact with everybody. One, you have great, amazing connections that you don't want to lose. Right. So you make it a priority.
Well, I think it's a two-way street, right? Like just how we said, getting together with people, but it's more than just a text. It's like a phone call too, or, you know, these girls are fantastic with the thoughtfulness of things. So if they know you're going through a tough time, I mean, I've gotten packages for no reason of like ice cream or donuts or, you know, something really special, or just to say we were thinking about you, and, you know, and we've done the same for other people that are going through something. And it doesn't have to be their birthday, but we are really religious about people's birthdays in our group, and like good gifts. Yeah. Big good gifts.
Well, especially for the big birthdays, because for the past couple of years, everybody's been turning 50.
Yes.
So you guys have been having some phenomenal girl trips.
Yes.
To
and
celebrate.
Some big gifts, like rings, you know, like jewelry stuff that you can keep forever. And I wear my ring all the time, and I think about them
every time
when
you put
it
on.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So long distance relationships can be, and I think it's easier with social media and whatever.
Oh, sure. Well, yeah, just the conversations that you can have in DMs because something made you laugh.
Yeah, it made me think of them.
Yeah. And then you have a conversation going in Instagram, Facebook,
Totally.
and on text message.
Yes. All, and it could be one continuous conversation.
Yes.
And the great thing is, like if I do that, you can just know where I meant to pick up from whatever conversation we were having on whatever platform.
Yeah, totally.
That's great.
Yes.
It's great.
Yes.
But yes, long distance relationships are easy if you make an effort. Because you have them too. You have them with.
I do. Yeah. Well, I mean, Tessa, and my girlfriend Jackie's in Florida. I mean, the good thing is that her family's in Michigan. So July, she's religiously here always for the month of July.
Yeah.
Right? But when we vacationed in Florida, like if we're relatively close, always making it, okay, on this night, we're hanging out, that kind of thing. And then there's times we've randomly ran into each other, right? You're on the same wavelength and you don't even know it. So Kylie was at Ferris for golf camp. Chris and I got an Airbnb in Traverse City on the beach. So we were just going to work from the beach for the week, just the two of us. It was great, grand, wonderful. So, we closed our computers, we grabbed a glass of wine, we were just going to go for a walk. All of a sudden we're walking and I'm talking to my husband and I get trampled, like tackled into the sand out of nowhere. And I look and it's Jackie.
Oh my God.
So randomly.
Was that last summer?
This was 2 summers ago. But just bananas.
Yeah.
Crazy. So they had her and this other girl, Michelle, that was in my sorority. Their two families get together all the time in July. They had this random Airbnb on a river, like maybe like the Boardman River or something. And I guess it was gross. It was terrible. So they immediately were like, nope, like we're not staying here. And got rooms at the resort, like down the beach from us. And we just happened to be walking by and she's like, oh my God, it's Katie. And they had been like drinking their sorrows away because they wasted their money on the Airbnb. They had to like stay like last minute, peak season in Traverse City at this hotel. And then they were like, we're going to Glen Arbor. Like we're doing it up right. So and then we ended up hanging out with them all night long.
So fun. I love those impromptu.
Yes, it was so fun.
Things. Yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah, long distance friendships are awesome. They're special.
They're
and
super
when
special.
you can keep them going, even because you can tell by the quality of the friend when you do see each other or when you text or call or whatever, you just pick right back up.
Yep.
And I think that's the theme with any kind of friendship.
Yes.
Whether you live in the town or not.
I'm not super tight with girls from high school. There's a couple. I think social media has helped keep things alive. Not so much that we like text or anything, but if something happens or goes on, we will randomly text each other, and you're there for that person, right? Or you're excited that they brought up the memory, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
My college girls, forever.
Yeah.
Like there's a cluster of us that we will be friends always and forever, right? And I've made a couple of like friends like along the way, but it is special if you can make a friendship after 40 that feels like this.
Yeah.
Man, you found a diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
For
you should
sure.
keep it.
Yes.
Keep it. And it's like any kind of relationship. You got to water it and feed it and make sure that everything's cool.
But if it's too much work,
then it might not be for
it
you.
might not be for you, right?
That's
I would say
so
like
true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Conversely, if it's like, God, I don't really
chore,
want to do this.
Yeah. No.
Then don't.
Yeah.
Life is too short.
Check. Bye.
It's too short.
Yeah.
Life is way too short to waste it on assholes.
Yeah.
Or people that appear to be nice and really are assholes.
Yes. Yes. No, and I mean, I don't want anybody to feel like if I made a gift or did something and I just want to share it with you and do something that you immediately have to reciprocate. Like that's not what true friendship is about. Like I decided one day that I was going to make my own lotion and my own body scrubs.
Yeah. Also, that body scrub you should take to Bed Bath & Beyond or Bath and Body Works. It's so good. It's my favorite.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I feel like you should come up with different flavors and we can label them different things.
No, I need to figure out.
But I love it.
The
It's
Katie
great.
label
I
is.
like the consistency of it, and it's not too oily because sometimes you can get them and it's like you put on baby oil.
Mm-hmm. No, because my big thing is, and I get like a really good like organic Himalayan like pink salt, right? I want it to feel like it's getting the dead skin off.
Exfoliate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I use apricot oil, and then I put a little extra vitamin E oil in. That way, it's just like it's
so good.
soothing,
Yeah.
Right. And I do the same thing, like it's like a shea butter you know, and I get like this like organic shea, like comes in like chunks, right?
Yeah.
So I have to like whip it to have it be that whipping consistency. But I even put more vitamin E oil in that because I just love how like my skin just absorbs it, and I just feel like.
So are you only using your stuff now on your skin? Nice.
Yeah.
See?
So,
Take it to the farmer's market. Although that's a lot of work.
that's a lot of work at the farmer's market.
I know
Just
you're
hit me
like my
up.
friend Jill who makes hats for people and stuff. We're always like, Jill, put it on Etsy or something. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, you know? And I don't want someone to be like, meh, I didn't
Can
really
you,
like it.
like not do that?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. It's good
It's
as
a
a gift.
gift.
Yeah.
It's a gift. And
So.
it's a great gift.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep giving
So,
it.
I know. So Morgan, when you come stay with me next week, you'll have body scrub and lotion sitting in your room. No, and I think it's a great gift to give like when
Oh my
you're
God.
like hosting
It's so
somebody.
great because you made it.
And I made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome. I haven't tried the lotion yet, but I'm going to.
So it's the same set because right now I'm obsessed with vanilla and sandalwood. So that's what that is.
I am too. It's a great flavor for everyone because it smells clean and it smells good on everyone.
Yeah. It's just like a little sweet.
Yeah.
Just a little, not too much. Where are you going? just taking off. So, but how do you feel about making friends? Like, oh, he wants to be with Meko.
Oh my gosh, this never happens.
Like making friends at this age. Do you feel like you're too old to make new friends?
No, I don't think you're ever too old to make friends.
That's a great attitude. I love that.
I don't think, no. I mean, I could find a friend tomorrow. Who knows?
I know, but you can talk to anybody.
But no,
You're
but I
very- you're
mean,
very good
like,
at that.
I think you can, I don't think you should limit, you know, you're like, I'm 50 and I'm done making friends.
No, but some people do have that attitude.
They do.
Yeah.
I know. And then they're friendless.
Yeah.
And they have dementia because they have no friends.
Oh,
No,
my
I think
gosh,
you can
yeah.
make friends at any age.
Yeah.
They may not have, they won't have the history, they won't have the depth maybe as your friends that started now. But then there's always like friendships that you pick up along the way because of something that happened or something. Like when I had breast cancer, I inherited a couple friends just because we were going through it at the same time.
Right.
And it was like shared, and we're still friends.
Yeah.
And I want her to come on our podcast, Flora. So, you know, like things like that, like a life events, I think definitely can form a friendship. And then you don't have to have that history.
Right.
Right.
But I think if you're finding yourself like it's not happening and other people are moving on, whether they move or they have life changes that kind of take them out of your circle, you know, are you doing anything to like go out and meet people?
Well, it's like
You know?
Mel Robbins' book, Let Them. I know we always reference it.
Yep.
But that was the premise of her book. She says that at the beginning, where she was like cruising through social media and she sees a group of girls that all went away together and she was never invited. And then she had to look back at herself and say, wait, when is the last time I called that person or reached out or invited them to do anything with me? So I can't be pissed. I don't get to be pissed at that situation because I really haven't talked to them in like 6 months.
Well, and that goes back to the same thing of like, don't always wait for the invitation.
Yeah.
Sometimes like you can create the gathering or something, you know? So, yeah, put yourself out there. Do it. Go.
Let's go, girls. And I think female friendships are so much different than male friendships.
Yes.
Like we just talked about the hunting thing. Like those dudes, you can put a group of dudes who all have fucked the same girl and no one cares.
And they won't even talk about it.
No, it would never come up. They wouldn't even, and if they did, they'd be like, okay.
Yeah. But girls would obsess over it.
Obsess. Especially younger girls. Like think about yourself in your 20s and you're like, oh my God, I think she dated my boyfriend or hooked up or whatever. And then you would just be like, she can't be invited. Oh my God, it would be a catastrophe.
Yeah, which really doesn't matter.
No, now it wouldn't, but like now you'd laugh.
Yeah, but no, that's something that you totally think about in your teens and in your 20s.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But guys, even if, I don't even know.
Well, that's like if they're like, oh, I went golfing with so-and-so today. You know, he's getting a divorce. Oh my God, why? I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, did he initiate the divorce or her? Yeah, I don't know. Like just, casually talked about it while they were getting a hot dog at the turn and then never spoke about it again.
I'm like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Did you get your hot dog? That's exactly how it goes. I
Right?
witnessed it. Yes.
Yeah. So, oh yeah. But then, you'll be like, oh, have you talked to so-and-so? Yeah. Okay, well, what are they up to? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, but you guys talked.
Men are like vaults. They really are. I mean, I have been in a situation where Randy's like, oh, I didn't tell you that they're moving to like Africa. What? Like, no, when did they tell you that? Oh, I don't know, like 4 months ago. Mm-hmm. We're like, I would tell you right away.
Yeah.
I would tell you right away.
Yeah.
I'm the right away, like when I find information out, I have to tell somebody.
Oh my God. I love those memes where, it's something, or it's like, Forrest Gump when he's like running and his braces like start to come off his legs, and it's like, oh, the feeling I get when I tell somebody, yeah, no, I won't tell a soul.
I won't tell anybody. I promise.
You can't tell anybody, and this is me running to your house.
I know.
To tell you all about it.
I know, but guys can like keep it together and forget.
Yeah.
That they had such an important conversation. But we'll know every score of every hole on a golf course.
Right?
In total recall.
Yeah.
Well, on hole 4 in 1975, I shot a 7.
Yeah.
But they won't remember that Tim is getting divorced. And we need to know all the details.
I know.
Who's got custody of those kids?
I know, right?
Yeah.
So I'll just ask questions and be like, I don't know. He didn't tell me, Katie.
Yeah, he didn't.
Well,
they didn't volunteer.
You need to ask more questions.
You need to be more inquisitive.
Yes.
Do I need to go on the next trip with you so I can get the information out?
I know some of the stories from those guys' golf trips that they used to go on, and I would have no desire to be there whatsoever.
No.
And I don't know how they could get so blasted and wasted and still wake up and do an 8 a.m. tee time and golf 36 holes.
Ugh.
Shoot me.
Yeah.
Shoot me.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Nope.
That sounds like death. It's because they start drinking right away to get rid of their hangover.
Well, you have to. That's the only way. That's the only way to get through it.
Right. Speaking of which, did you know that we should go here? Arcadia Bluffs remodeled something.
Like their clubhouse?
Yeah. Like they added some. I just got this came up on my feed somehow.
I know. It was like 2019 when we took them. I think didn't we get that for them for Father's Day?
Yeah. And they did something different. Like there's more hotels. Or remember how like in the main house there's only like 3 rooms or 4 rooms. Now there's more. Okay. Plus you can rent a house. I don't know.
No, we should totally do
flash.
that. No, it was super fun. We had an amazing day of golf there. And then the next day, I remember we were checking out and all the people were in the clubhouse because that haze came in over the bluffs and it was so dense you couldn't go out.
Right. It was beautiful. A great dinner.
We did.
It's a beautiful place. I forget. Like, how lucky are we that we live here?
I know.
And we have the most beautiful public golf courses.
We do.
Kind of in the country.
I think we have the most public golf courses of any state.
Right.
And, a lot of them are, nicer than private courses.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Probably because they're preserved by all the snow and ice. The other 9 months out of the year. But they're beautiful.
I know.
Especially in the summer.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, I think Grand Traverse Resort. So I've only played 2 out of the 3 courses, and I love them.
Yeah.
I think they're great.
God, I haven't been there in forever either. So many places.
So many places. Well, and what I really love about this state is kind of, depending where you're at, typically between 3 and 4 hours, you can be in a super awesome spot.
Yeah.
Minus having to go to UP. You know?
Right. If you consider that awesome.
Well, it depends. I mean, I've never been, is it Tehuantepec Falls or something? How do you say it?
Tequanimon.
Tequanimon?
Tequanimon.
Yeah.
Falls.
I've seen pictures. I've never been.
Am I saying that right? Tequamanon.
Okay. Is that in the Beaver Mountains? Is that what it's called?
I have no idea. They're very rustic looking falls. So if you've ever been have you ever been in Niagara Falls?
Yes.
So Niagara Falls, it's like blue. It's like huge. Tequamanon Falls it looks like rust coming down. To me, I haven't been there since in forever. So
and then
maybe
there's like
there's
a famous arch that you could canoe by in the UP.
Yeah. It's on Mackinac Island.
No.
No? I don't know.
I don't know where that's
I don't know
at.
this. I don't know the UP
I don't know
that
where
much.
Paradise is.
The UP could be its own continent.
Yes. I've been to St. Ignace to get on a ferry to go to Mackinac Island.
Mackinac Island, yeah. And I don't think that they consider that the UP. The people that are in the UP don't consider Mackinac Island the UP.
Well, no, because it's so touristy.
Yeah.
I mean, you get off, unless you're going to spend time there, like ride a bike, golf, hike or something. Main Street is nothing but fudge and souvenirs and horseshit. It's cool.
Beautiful.
It's cool. But for what you pay, I mean, I'm telling you right now, just watch the movie. What is it called? A Moment in Time?
Oh, I never saw it.
Something like that.
Is that where it was filmed there, right?
Yeah, at the Grand.
They have a new hotel at the Grand, or on Mackinac Island.
They do?
Yeah. Or they redid it. It's called the Iroquois.
No, that's
always
not been there. So they must have remodeled it.
They must have remodeled. It looks great.
It's one of the nicer ones.
Yeah.
And it's like right on the water.
Yeah, I think I saw that somewhere. It looked great. And the Grand is nice, although I think the Grand is haunted.
I will agree with you.
100%
Chris and I
sure
have
it's
only
haunted.
stayed at the Grand once. And our room was interesting. I mean, it was big and it was very pretty. But if there would have been a ghost like Ghostbusters like looming over my bed when I woke up, I would not have been shocked.
Yeah. I remember waking up once and the picture on the wall, I was like,
Was it looking at you?
yeah, she totally went like,
The eyes
that
moved.
bitch moved. Yes. Yes. I know.
But
what
I just
happened.
remember the hallway to get to our room.
You're
kinda
like walking on a slant.
Yes. And then you kind of like had to like walk up a little bit and then turn. And I felt like the hallway got smaller.
Yeah, that's the charm of the hotel.
Yeah.
There's a really great hotel, it reminds me of it a bit, in San Diego called the Coronado. It's on Coronado Island in San Diego, called the Hotel Del Coronado. And it's haunted. And it's got this crazy story about this woman who is waiting for her lover and they actually know the room. Like if you tell them, people seek out this room to stay in.
Really?
Yeah. So she was waiting for either her boyfriend or her lover or something to come, and he never showed up. And so she hung herself in the room.
First of all, girl.
No man is worth that. Just
Nope.
move on.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, okay. I guess I wasn't it. So goodbye.
Know your worth.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah.
on
But it's
that,
a beautiful hotel too. And old. But you
my
can have
gosh.
cars there.
You can have cars there. Well, I mean, I remember when I was in my 20s, my friend Autumn was working for Marriott in Detroit, and they would kind of do like hotel swaps with other hotels. So the chick that ran like events and everything for Mission Point would come down to Detroit, like when she would do, I don't know, big things for like weddings and all that kind of stuff. So they would do an exchange. So Autumn would get free rooms at Mission Point. So we would do these girls' weekends on Mackinac Island. And you knew you were out partying late when the cop car did its rounds. There's one fire truck and one cop car. And I think they
What
come
time
out at
was
2 a.m.
Oh, 2.
Yeah.
Are the bars open
Till 2.
2? I've never stayed on the island long enough to like go out that late.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Well, we had some single friends in the group.
Oh, okay.
Who made some googly eyes at the boys in the band, you know, where we were at.
And they're not catching the ferry back.
No. So then we hung out with the boys in the band.
Oh, got it.
And then made
Isn't
our
that a
way
song?
back to the Mission Point. Well, it's a movie and a
okay.
play.
Okay.
Boys in the Band. But it's not about girls falling in love with boys in a band. It's about boys falling in love with boys.
Oh, interesting. That would be a fun date or trip to do a weekend.
So fun. You go to the Lilac Tree. There's like a big spot. Well, it's not a big spot, but there's a spot, the Lilac Tree.
What's the Lilac Tree?
It's a hotel on Main Street.
Oh, okay. I know there's a Pink Pony Club.
Yes, there is the Pink Pony. Yeah. And, you know, it's rumored, I don't think he does it anymore, but Bob Seger would take his sailboat there and you could catch him playing his guitar out on his sailboat. Because I think he used to do like the Chicago to Mackinac thing.
Right.
So
There's like a boat race, isn't there?
there's a boat
It
race
starts in Port Huron.
and there's a zoo to Mac on bikes.
Oh yeah, that just happened because Alex's best friend Ruby they do that every year.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so far.
I know.
Kalamazoo to Mackinac Island?
Yeah. Wouldn't that hurt your butt?
That would hurt your butt. I would never want to ride my bike across the Mackinac Bridge.
Right. I've walked it.
I think I could handle walking.
I've walked it on Labor Day.
Yeah,
couple
like,
times.
but on like
Yeah.
the inside lane where it's paved, I wouldn't want to walk on the grate on the outside.
Where do you walk? I think you walk on the grate.
Do you?
Yes,
Because
because
the
the
cars still
cars
have to
they
go?
have a lane open.
I thought they shut the bridge down for that. They don't.
Not when I was, not for the commoners like us. Maybe for the governor, because the governor leads the walk.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
No, there's something, or maybe it's like Lilac Festival when like it's the big opening season of Mackinac Island.
Oh, okay.
There's like a 10K maybe.
Oh,
and you run across
probably.
the bridge, and then end up on the island.
Yeah, it's a cool,
yeah.
like place to go, and
I think if you want to
I think 2
experience
nights max.
yeah, there's not much. They do have a big jazz festival in October. I've always wanted to go to that.
I heard they have a great Halloween weekend too.
Oh,
We were just talking about this. I can't remember with
You
who.
love Halloween.
I do love Halloween, and they have a big Halloween like party
okay.
at the Grand.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Swanky.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah. Well, because when Chris and I stayed there, like you go and you have dinner, like you're in Dirty Dancing, you know, and then you go to the ballroom and there was like a jazz band.
Fun.
And you dance.
And then you could take a glass of champagne and sit on the rocking chair on the
Yes.
porch and stare out at Lake.
I did.
Superior
I
or
felt like I
Michigan?
was in Dirty Dancing when I was there. It was
You
super
do-
fun.
It does take you back
So
to times you never wanted to live in.
correct. Correct. Well,
But
I do
super
laugh
cool.
now when it's like you rewatch Dirty Dancing as a mother of a teenage daughter and you're like, yes, you do put baby in the corner.
Yeah.
She is 16, 17 years old and you are a 35-year-old dance instructor. Yes, baby, you sit down and you
sit
shut the
your
fuck up.
ass in the corner right now. Time out. And no, you
my
don't
goodness.
go help that lady that just had an abortion.
Right.
No
All
one
the
needs to see that. Good Lord. I know. That is funny. But good music, you know.
Good music. Well, it's a classic movie, and it stands the test of time.
It does.
There's nothing worse than watching one of my favorite movies from the 80s, and I go, oh, Lord, this did not hold up.
Yeah. What movie were we just talking about that stands the test of time? It wasn't Dirty Dancing, it was something else. Were we having this convo?
16 Candles?
No. Maybe it was my sister-in-law.
Okay.
We were just talking about some movie they just watched, and they're like, oh my God, it's still good.
Breakfast Club.
I don't know.
Okay.
It escapes me.
Well, when it comes to mind at 2 in
Yeah.
the morning, you can feel free to text
Exactly.
me.
Exactly.
Feel free to text me.
But Dirty Dancing, Little House on the Prairie, I know they were much different times, but all of those scenarios seem,
I would not want to live on Little House on the Prairie.
no.
Well, it's like when Chris and I were watching 1923. He's like, oh, it was such a simpler time. Wouldn't it be great to live that? And I go,
Yeah, and people died from the flu.
I was like, no. I go, literally the last scene, she's not allowed to take the horse and buggy to the post office by herself because some cowboy might show up and like take advantage of her. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
As a woman, like you just
Right,
wouldn't go
right,
out like,
right.
you know, in the fairway by yourself. You know?
Yeah.
You know, stay out after dark by yourself. I mean, there's still times now you wouldn't want to be out by, you know.
Exactly.
You know, it shouldn't be an issue, but
it
you know,
is.
like your female spidey senses come out and you're like, I don't want to be here.
There is never a time that a guy feels threatened. I mean, I shouldn't say never, but it's not like, it is so different between having a son and having a daughter.
Yes.
That there aren't a lot of times, I should say, that I would feel like, oh, my son could be in trouble.
Yeah.
But I feel that daily
For your girls.
for my girls.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I feel very confident within this city of wherever
Yes.
she goes.
Yes.
College does make me nervous.
Yeah.
It does make me nervous because, you know, there's wolves in sheep's clothing. And, you know, I've been very lucky that I did get myself into some weird situations and I was always able to get myself out.
Right.
You know, not everybody is that lucky,
Yeah.
you know?
And that is pure luck.
And intuitive to say, this is not okay and this is not going to end well.
Right.
Right? And you're able to slip out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's scary. It's a scary world.
so that's why you need the buddy system when you're in college.
Yeah.
You don't do things by
You
yourself.
need to have that one friend that's like,
Yep. For sure.
Yeah.
And if, you want to go to your, boyfriend's dorm at 11:30 at night, have your buddy that you talk to on FaceTime or something, like while you're walking
Right.
over. Like, don't be alone. Mm-hmm. Sometimes those blue phones aren't close enough.
Never. Never.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So
There's our PSA for the episode.
Right.
Okay, this is our Tuesday one. I can't even read it. Barbera de Alba. Imported by, Dahlia Terra. It's a Napa. I think it's a blend. It was Randy labeled it graduation wine.
Oh.
And I think I just grabbed it from that.
Yeah.
So not my favorite. It's probably, it's not a Tuesday wine even. I think it's a cooking wine.
Yeah.
It was $21.99.
Yeah. No, I pass. So. And we learned from that mistake too. All right. Now we're getting into another new segment.
Okay.
Okay. So every other week we're going to talk about our favorite things, and then on the opposite week it is our midlife mythbusters.
Okay. What's your myth buster?
Yeah. Like that's my my news thing. Yeah. That after you turn 40 and you're exhausted, that's just normal. That's just life.
Yeah.
It's totally okay. Nothing to address here.
Yeah.
I call bullshit. There's tons to address. Mm-hmm. And the number one thing to do is go get some solid blood work done. Mm-hmm. What supplements are you missing in your body? Are your hormones off? Girl, maybe you need to get up and walk around and move a little bit. Yeah.
Because the misconception is, and I think this is a big deal in like our mom era, our moms generation.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law and I were just talking about that this weekend. It's like they were never taught to move.
No.
Movement actually gives you more energy. Mm-hmm. That was never a theme in their era. And no fault of theirs. They just never were taught that. They were just like, well, it made me tired, so now I'm going to rest. Yep. And that makes me more tired.
Yep.
And now I'm just going to be perpetually tired because that's our life. And wah, wah, wah.
And I'm all about a power nap. I was never a napper, ever. Now that I'm a little bit older, closing my eyes for 15 minutes, even if I'm not sleeping, totally legit.
Yeah.
3 hours in the middle of the day? No, there's something wrong. Like, you need to get it figured out.
Yes.
So, but I saw these two things on Instagram today, and it made me think of like what we were going to like talking about this. And it's just a little bit of motivation, because sometimes you're exhausted because you just think that like life is too heavy or life is too hard, right?
And sometimes it is.
Sometimes it is. So that I saw this, and I follow this Instagram account called The Fearless Impact, and they just have some really great motivational stuff. And their thing today was, it'll fucking be okay. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but you'll get through this, because you always do. Life doesn't hit light. It throws punches you never saw coming, but you're still standing. Bruised maybe, tired as hell, probably, but you're breathing. And as long as you're breathing, you've got a shot in this world. You've got a shot to rebuild, to restart, and to rise. The storm is not going to last forever. The weight will get lighter. The pain will pass. So take the next breath, take the next step. You don't have to know how, you just know you will. Because deep down, even when it's dark, there's a voice in you whispering, keep fucking going.
That's true.
Right?
Yes.
I feel like
Very
I need
true.
to have this printed on my wall. Because sometimes like the littlest things can seem like the biggest freaking mountain. Mm-hmm. And then there's other times where it is a big freaking mountain, but you have the attitude of like, I got this. I'll be fine. Mm-hmm. I will get through this, There's
a saying that says the hardest thing that's happened to you is the hardest thing that's happened to you.
And you woke up the next day.
And it's true.
Yeah.
Like the hardest thing that's happened to you is true.
Well, Robin Arzon from Peloton would always say, you've gotten through 100% of your shittiest days.
Yes.
So
yes.
So if you're tired and you're bogged down, guess what? Go get the help. Go get the help you need. But sometimes you do just need like a motivational kick in the ass too.
Yeah. I mean, when my whole family left on Sunday, and I was like kind of sad. Yeah. Just because the chaos, I think it was just the whole letdown of the grad party was so fun. The having my kids in the same house for 2 nights in a row. I always sleep the best. Having my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law, everybody around was awesome. And then it was kind of a letdown when they left. And so I like had to go out for a walk.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'll walk it off.
Yeah.
You can walk off anything. You literally can walk off anything. Like anything.
A bad mood, a big meal, 10 pounds, you can walk it off.
You can walk it off.
Yeah.
I mean, when your dad used to say, or when my dad used to say, walk it off.
Yeah.
He wasn't wrong. Like you can literally walk off anything.
My mom's big thing was bite the bullet. Bite the bullet and get through it.
Well, that's true.
You know?
Although the bullet can blow up. But yeah. My myth is once college is over, your life is over. I remember thinking that after college because I loved it so much. I was where are these four? I'm never going to live as much as I lived in these last 4 years because I was so involved and it was all great. And but it's not true.
Yeah.
Every decade just seems to get better and more enhanced.
In its own way.
Yeah.
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 I would say the reason people will say college is the best is like you have your first taste of freedom. Your only responsibility truly is going to class and getting your work done.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes that seems like a big deal and you push things off and you procrastinate. Like if I could do college again, you know, from 18 to 22, but with what I know now, oh my God, I would have straight A's. I'd probably have my doctorate in like 5 years.
Oh,
you know 100%.
What I
mean? But you don't have that attitude because you're just...
Well, you haven't lived that life.
You haven't lived like that before.
You haven't lived a life. And so I understand now why a lot of graduate programs, a lot of law schools, medical schools, whatever, encourage people to go work after to live a little and then go back and get your master's degree or whatever you're going to do further education if you choose to do that. And because you're just going to have a better time. You're going to get better results doing that. But yeah, life just keeps getting better in my opinion. My 20s were great. I had a bang up time. And then my 30s were great because I started a family. My 40s were great because I figured out who I was. And now my 50s are even better. Because now we're starting all over again, but with that knowledge.
Yes. Because life's always going to throw you punches.
Yeah.
It's just how do you deal with it on the other side, right?
Yeah.
You're going to make mistakes. How do you deal with it on the other side?
What is that saying? Fall down 7 times, get up 8.
Yeah, totally.
You just do.
Yeah.
We've all been kicked in the teeth. I've been fired from a job. I've been denied a promotion, tons of promotions, denied jobs, whatever, health, called off engagements, like all of that shit, which just builds on to whatever you bring into the next decade.
I know. I mean, I think you and Randy are a phenomenal couple, so it was meant for you to call off that engagement. But man, I mean,
that was kind of a tough thing to do. Just I knew just in my gut, I'm like, I cannot marry this person. And it would have been so much easier to get married.
Yep. I know people and have friends that they didn't want to be that person that called off the wedding, or it was so close to the wedding. They're like, I'll just go through with it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure 50% of marriages do that. I mean, my husband did the same thing and he got divorced for the first time. People do it every day. You get into the groove. You're like, it's a party. It's a wedding. I don't want to let people down. It's humiliating. It's embarrassing to admit that you were not with the right person.
Yeah.
After you told everybody that you were. And that's a huge, I failed.
Yeah.
Flag.
But at the same time, I mean, even if it was 5 minutes before Kylie's supposed to walk down the aisle, if it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Right?
You got it. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
No worries.
Yeah. I mean, I remember my mom's like, do it now before you have 2 kids and have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And that's
that would
true.
Be tough. Yeah.
That's true. And I commend people that do that and go through a divorce and have to start over too. That's not easy.
No.
I can't imagine, trying to fake a happiness in a marriage either.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like any stage that you have to call off something big is like, ugh, that sucks.
And that's why it's good to have friends.
Yes. Yes.
So they can help you through that, through all those times.
Yes. And Jean was there that whole time. She was supposed to be in my wedding.
Jean. Was she?
Sorry.
Did she already buy her dress?
No,
Okay.
we picked them out.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, yes, people picked out dresses. I had my wedding dress.
Did you keep it?
No, it was getting made.
Oh.
And yeah, I had to like
Just like walk away from your deposit?
walk away from my, however, I don't remember
Whatever you
my
did.
deposit.
Yeah.
Deposits on the hall, deposits on all of it. Yep. Just.
Yeah, but and now you have no regrets.
I have no regrets.
It's tough when you're
It
going
was an
through
investment.
Right. An investment in your knowledge.
Yeah.
And you got through it.
I did.
And
yeah.
you kept
I
fucking
remember
going.
my cousin Karen.
Yeah.
She's like, what do you need me to do? That's who you need. You need a person like that. I'm like, just call everybody.
Yep.
I don't want to. And I kind of went into hiding for a bit. Just
No,
like
I get that.
Just like I don't want to answer
have
any
to rebirth.
questions. I don't want to talk to anybody. Just here's the line. She called off the wedding. He wasn't the person. Thank you and good night.
Oh, I think we should end it right there.
Okay.
All right. Toodles.